Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to investigate a foundational piece of our biology that seems to have quietly gone missing. And look, this isn't about some new health trend or a passing supplement fad. We're talking about an essential element, and its absence might just be at the root of a lot of modern health problems. This quote right here, it's pretty much the central mystery we're exploring today. It makes you think, doesn't it? That maybe so many of our chronic health issues aren't caused by something new we've added to our lives, but by something old and essential that's been taken away. It really sets the stage for our search. So that leads us to the big question, right? If something so essential is missing, well, what is it? Let's start piecing together the clues to find the answer. And here it is. The missing piece is iodine. Let's be really clear about this. This is not the latest buzzword. It's a non-negotiable, absolutely foundational element. Without it, our entire metabolic engine, it just can't run. Simple as that. I just love this metaphor. I mean, think about it. A car engine can have all the premium fuel and the best oil in the world, but if you don't have that little spark plug to kick things off, absolutely nothing happens. Iodine is that essential spark for our metabolism. Now, what's really fascinating here is just the sheer scope of iodine's influence. You see, it's used to create thyroid hormones, and those are like the body's master regulators. They set the pace for pretty much everything, from your energy levels to your immune response. So here's the crucial point. If these master regulators are off, basically nothing downstream can work the way it's supposed to. But here's the thing. The story does not stop with the thyroid. That's just a tiny, tiny fraction of the truth. As we're about to see, iodine's role is way more system-wide and intricate than most people think. And this right here, this is the key fact that changes everything. Yeah, the thyroid is the biggest user of iodine, for sure, but it is far from the only tissue in your body that desperately needs it to function correctly. And this just brilliantly illustrates how widespread its job really is. I mean, look at this list. Tissues all over the body, from reproductive organs to your skin and even your immune cells, they actively pull in and concentrate iodine. What that tells us is that iodine has these system-wide signaling roles that go way beyond just making hormones. It's involved in keeping the health and order of the entire system. So how does this connect directly to how you actually feel every single day? Well, this slide lays out the chain of command for your energy. It's pretty simple. Low iodine means low thyroid hormone. That sends a direct message to your mitochondria, the little power plants inside your cells, telling them to slow way down. And the result? A body-wide energy crisis. And this is the point that's so crucial to get. Major health issues rarely just pop up out of nowhere. They often grow out of this slow, quiet failure at the metabolic level. When your body doesn't have the energy to repair itself, to detoxify, and to defend itself, well, the whole system just becomes vulnerable. Okay, so how do we even get here? This deficiency isn't some random accident. If we understand the history, it reveals why this problem has become so widespread, yet it stays almost invisible to most of us. It's a real paradox, isn't it? If this element is so fundamental for life, how did we possibly end up in a situation where so many people just don't have enough of it? Well, the story of how we got here really unfolds in three main parts. First, modern agriculture basically stripped our soils of iodine, which means our food just contains less of it. Second, there was a lot of medical messaging that framed iodine as something to be feared, or only for very specific uses, which limited its use. And third, our diets just shifted away from those traditional, naturally iodine-rich foods like seaweed and seafood. And, it gets even more complicated. It's not just about what we're not getting, it's also about what we are getting. See, other elements in our environment, things like fluoride and bromide, can actually compete with iodine for the same parking spots in our cells. They can literally block it from doing its job. So even if you are getting some iodine, it might not be able to get where it needs to go. Okay, now let's look at a really fascinating real-world clue that points to the power of having enough iodine. The answer isn't just in some lab, it's visible in global health patterns if you know where to look. This is what people often call the Japan paradox. The traditional Japanese diet is naturally super high in iodine, mostly thanks to seaweed and other marine foods. And what's interesting is that historically, Japanese populations have shown way lower rates of certain issues like fibrocystic breast disease and really severe menopausal symptoms. Now, it is so important to be responsible here. This correlation, it doesn't prove causation. Of course not. But good science always starts by observing patterns and asking why. Why do they exist? And this observation from Japan, it's a powerful clue that really pushes for a deeper investigation. So, after we've pieced together all this evidence, from the tiny cellular level all the way to global populations, what's the key takeaway from all of this? What's the final verdict on iodine? It's absolutely crucial to set the right expectations. Iodine is not a magic bullet. It is not a cure for anything. It is a fundamental, non-negotiable building block. Its job is to restore the basic conditions the body needs to function the way it's supposed to. So the takeaway is really this. Having enough iodine supports the body's entire operating system. It brings clarity to the thyroid, balance to the metabolism, and stability to the whole cellular environment, what some folks call terrain stability. It's what you'd call an upstream solution that helps create the conditions for health to emerge. And finally, an absolutely critical safety warning. Iodine is a powerful, powerful regulator. So for anyone with an overactive thyroid, that's hyperthyroidism, adding more iodine without strict medical supervision can be really dangerous and actually make the condition worse. As with anything in health, context is everything. And we come back to this powerful idea. You see, the danger of iodine deficiency isn't some sudden, loud, catastrophic failure. It's a slow, quiet decline in function that's so easy to mistake for just aging or, just not feeling right. It's that slow failure that's the hardest one to see. And that really leaves us with a final thought. Maybe health isn't always about fighting a disease that's been added to our system, but about restoring a foundational piece that has been lost. If you can restore order at the highest level of metabolic control, you give the entire system a fighting chance to find its way back to balance.